Hi, and welcome to Tech Rems. Today you'll be learning about entity relationship diagrams or ERDs. We will start by looking at the general overview, and then we will dive in to build an example together with entities, attributes, relationships, and cardinalities. By the end of this video, you should be able to build a full entity relationship diagram from scratch. If you want to understand what these components are, I have covered that in the introductory video. You can click on the link above here, or you can find the link in the description below. ERDs are a way to visualize the relationship between different entities in a database. In this video, I'm going to use an easy-to-use tool called Lucidchart. You can also use it for free actually. By clicking on the link in the description below, you can access Lucidchart's website, enter your email address, and have a free account in just few seconds. That way, you can follow along with me and continue building your own ER diagrams as well. We are going to draw ER diagram for a retail shop. According to them, a customer can place many orders, but an order can only be placed by one customer. Also, an order can contain many products, and a product can be in many orders. A product can also be supplied by many suppliers, and a supplier can also supply many products. From these compound business rules, we can draw the ER diagram for it so that we can visualize how the different components interact with each other in the database. To begin, we will open a new document in Lucidchart. We will use the ERD shape library, which is located in the entity relationship section of the shape picker. By default, entity relationship section is not added, so you have to add it yourself. You click on more shapes, scroll down and look for entity relationship, check the box and click on use selected shapes. We will now start by adding entities to our diagrams. These shapes here are used to represent entities in different forms, but we'll be using this one. An entity represents a table in our database, and the rows are the instances of that entity. To add an entity, simply drag it onto the canvas. From the business rule, the entities we have are customer, order, product, and supplier. Let's name our first entity as customer. If you watch the introductory video, we mentioned that entities are represented in uppercase letters and in singular form. We will then add some attributes to the entity, which represent the columns in our table. So we will add customer ID, customer name, customer telephone number. If you want to add more attributes to your entity diagram, you can go here and click on below. It means that you are inserting an attribute below. You can also use the above as well and customer address. Now let's add another entity. We'll drag and drop. This one will represent our orders table. So we name it order, and for order, we can add attributes like order ID and order date. Now we'll delete these attributes below, so we click on it, go here and click on delete. Next, we will add a relationship between these two entities. A relationship represents the way in which two tables are connected in our database, and you do that by drawing a line in between them. So you move your cursor to the border of the entity and click and drag to draw the line between the entities. So when I draw a line in between these two particular elements, I'm showing that there is some sort of interaction or connection in some way. From the business rule, we were told that a customer can place many orders, but an order can only be placed by one customer. So let's talk about the relationship and the cardinality that exists between a customer and the order. Now, the best way to do this is to think about it logically. We have to think about what is the minimum number of orders that a customer can place, and what's the maximum number of orders that a customer can place. So let's start with the minimums. What is the minimum number of orders that a customer can place? Well, you can have a customer, but he or she would have 0 orders. So to show that over here, we will use 0 sign. Now, we have to think about the maximum. What are the maximum number of orders that a customer can place? Well, as you already know, a customer can have many orders. So to show that, we will use the 0 or many crow's foot notation. If you want to insert cross-foot notation cardinalities on a relationship, on the right side, you go to the top here on the right side, then you select the cardinalities. And if you want to insert on the left side, you go to the top here and select from the left side a drop down. Now let's talk about the minimum and maximum relationship between orders and customers. So we ask ourselves the same questions. What is the minimum number of customers that an order can have? And what's the maximum number of customers that an order can have? Now, a specific order can only have one and only one customer. Or you can imagine the confusion that will exist if the same specific order have a lot of customers. So in this case, there can only be one and only one number of customers to an order. So we show that using this 1-1 notation. Now let's add some more entities in relationship to our diagram. We will add a product entity with attributes as product ID, product description, and product price. We will also add another entity as suppliers with attributes as supplier ID, supplier telephone number, and supplier address. Now let's add some more relationship based on the business rule. Draw the line between the entities. The first relationship represents the fact that an order can contain many products and a product can be part of many orders. So the minimum number of products an order can have is 1, because you can't have an order without any product in it. And also, the maximum number of products an order can contain is as many as the customer can afford. In other words, many. And so we'll use one or many notation. Now on the other side, what is the minimum number of orders a product can be part of? Well, as you know, there can be a product that will not belong to any order placed. And what is the maximum orders a product can be part of? Of course, a product can be part of many orders placed. So we use 0 or many notation. The second relationship represents the fact that a supplier can supply many products and a product can be supplied by many suppliers. You draw the relationship line between product and supplier. From this, we depict that a supplier can supply none or many products and a product can be supplied by one or many suppliers, because when you have a product, then it was definitely supplied by a supplier. Now that we've added all our entities and relationships, our ERD is complete. Let's name our relationship as places. So we click on the relationship line and type the name. This relationship represents the fact that a customer can place many orders. And we name this relationship as belongs. And we've built something small here. But now you have the foundation and framework that you need to build complex, complete entity relationship diagrams. As you can see, an ERD is a powerful way to visualize the relationships between different entities in a database. Although this can seem a little bit overwhelming at first, just be sure to walk yourself through that logic and you'll be able to build entire complex ERDs. On our diagram, you can also see unfamiliar objects like keys. This is something we'll be covering in a video coming soon, so stay tuned. We'll be talking about primary keys and foreign keys and how to establish relationship with these keys. We will also talk about how to deal with these many-to-many relationships, because in a relational database management system, you can't implement many-to-many relationship. So in the upcoming videos, we will talk about how to handle many-to-many relationship. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something from this tutorial on ER diagrams. Subscribe to the channel so that you can get more access to helpful videos and tutorials. If you have any question or concern, you can drop it in the comment section below. See you in the next video.